How we all doing today, everyone? This is official CodeDB. Well, I went on a mission to try to find a very cheap GPU, just to see how cheap of a GPU you can get and play modern titles on. So, I went on the eBay and I picked one up for $40. I wanted to keep it under 40 bucks, but it actually came out to be just over $40, but that's okay because we still got a pretty good deal on this card. The card I picked up is the GeForce GTX 460. So in this video, we're going to take a look at if this card can continue to play modern titles. Now, all these benchmarks are in 720p, so no 1080p benchmarks, unfortunately, because I'm using this shitty-ass 720p monitor for the benchmarks, just because it would run better on 720p. So let's take a look and see if this card can still perform well in 2016.
What do I know about cars? A girl just vanished not far from here. I hope someone is able to find her. That's just awful. I don't know what I'd do if my daughter were here.
So as you can see from the Far Cry 4 benchmarks, the high preset is just about the sweet spot for this game, because very high drops about 10 frames out the game, but still completely playable. Even on Ultra, I don't think I tested Ultra on the benchmark, but you can even play on Ultra, but you'll be stuck around 30 frames for the most part. But dropping it to medium really doesn't give you that much of an advantage, so I'd say stick around high settings. And to note, this is actually 1280 by 1024, not 1280 by 720, so it's a bit higher, but that's just the resolution of the monitor I'm using. And I forgot to note before the first benchmark that I'm using an i7 4790K with 24 gigabytes of DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM. Maybe a bit overkill for this test, but that's just the specs I'm using for the benchmarks. So anyway, let's go check out our next game. As you can see, Battlefield 1 ran pretty well. On low settings, we were in the 40s pretty much, and putting it on medium, we were still getting some playable frame rates. So, for medium is probably the best if you want best visual clarity, but still very playable. And as you can see, I got a couple kills in the benchmark, but I did happen to die as well a few times. So anyway, don't judge me on my playing skills, just judge the benchmarks. Anyway, let's go check out our next game. and GTA 5 ran very well. We were in the 60s, 50s to 60s throughout the whole benchmark, and we had the settings very high, as you could see in the benchmark. So GTA 5 is really very easy and great to run on this card, but that's just because GTA 5 is very well optimized. So GTA 5 will run great on this card, no doubt.
Of course, when armies pass, necropages follow. Let's go before any more show up.
Ever tell you about this sorcerer I knew? Couldn't stop talking about how useful they are as creatures.
Because you can brew potions from their blood?
No, because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No, really upset him too. His theory collapsed. Faster.
War's not exactly going our way.
We have a side.
The Northern Realms.
Radovid's realms, don't you mean? Temeria and Edirn are no more.
Radovid's pledged to restore the old borders.
And finally, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 was still pretty playable even at medium settings, which I used on the benchmark, but if you drop it to low, you will obviously get more frame rate, which will in turn make it more playable. But keeping it on medium does give you better visual clarity, but it will drop frames regardless. So anyway, in conclusion, this is a pretty good card even for 2016, considering this card was released in 2010, I think. So the fact that I can still keep up with some of these demanding titles, even though it's at 720p, it's pretty intense. And again, Witcher 3 was the most demanding out of these games, and it still ran pretty well. Even on medium, it was still holding up, and it was still pretty playable. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.